Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. I am your host, Kelly Chase. We are going to talk about Atlanta Swim Week on this episode. It's going to be brief, but I wanted to highlight a couple of things. I really want to, you know, I'm I was super happy to be a part of Atlanta Swim Week again for their second I guess their second show. We had one back in May. Now we just had this one here in October. And it's just such an empowering event. The neatest thing is seeing women and men of all different body sizes, body figures, heights, and getting out there and feeling confident in who they are. There's this one woman who did the like Miami body tape, and she was like a couple of months postpartum. She was rocking her like postpartum body, basically. And when I say that, like that could look different on everybody, but she made a comment. She was like, I'm not like where I want to be, yet I still have this postpartum weight. But I just thought it was amazing that she was like, but who cares? I'm just going to rock this. And she did. So I just think it's a very empowering thing for so many of you, all of you to, next time that they do it, I am going to make sure that I'm sharing about it because I even had a friend who came as an influencer, but she only attended, well, not to say she only attended, but a reason why she attended it was because she reached out after seeing something that I had posted, but it was only a few weeks ago. And so we were covered with models. We had enough models. But otherwise, she was interested in coming to model, to walk. And I feel like I did a little bit of you guys a disservice because if anyone else out there is interested in doing something like this, or maybe it feels a little scary for you to be like, oh my God, walking on a runway in front of people in a bathing suit, like, oh my God, stage fright, no way, anything like that. I think that this message is even more for you because it's so great to get out of your comfort zone. It's like the best thing that you can ever do is get out of your comfort zone. I used to say this during the workouts that I used to, teach. And I would say nothing changes if nothing changes. And also, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So use that motto, those mantras to propel you into something that is going to shift things for you. You're going to feel differently. It's going to literally make you feel alive because I would probably make an assumption that 100% of everybody that does the show feels alive and electric when they go out there. And we're all goofy and funny. And, it's just fun. It's a fun thing to do out of the norm. Maybe you have a 9 to 5 job. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and that is your full-time career. It's something for you to get confident and feel really empowered about. So again, I will do a better job next time in promoting the event, especially when they're needing models or designers or hairstylists or makeup artists. They need help. I believe it's pretty fully like all volunteer. We didn't get paid for it, but it's for the exposure to maybe book other gigs or for someone to see you and be like, hey, maybe, oh, I see that you also do motivational speaking, or, oh, I see that you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you would love this business opportunity or whatever. Like it just gives you exposure. So you have to think more open-minded and expansive than maybe what you're thinking. Like it's not just a show. It's a show that can literally catapult you into this next level version of yourself and actually be the catalyst for this next level version of your life with your relationships, your health, your career, your business, all of that, your spirituality even. So just take that into consideration. If, maybe there's one of these fashion shows or any type of event or public speaking, something like that or a networking event or work and women's empowerment conference, something like that is going like in your own hometown that may shift things for you, go. But like if it's a free thing, go to it. If it's a paid opportunity, go to it. It's an investment in yourself, those things. The investments are in yourself. You're making an investment in yourself when you make choices that are aligned with your future self. Think about it like that. So remember, nothing changes if nothing changes, and what doesn't challenge you will not change you. Keep that in mind. And so I hope by me sharing about Atlanta Swim Week, the energy that I felt, the energy I feel like I exude to other people, people can feel that. People feel your energy and your vibration, and that's what helps lift up, the vibration collectively of everyone. But I hope that by sharing all of this, I'm empowering you and not triggering you or activating you in any particular way. Because you too, it doesn't matter what size you are, what body figure you are. Because literally there was so many different body types on the runway, and it was really inspiring and motivating and empowering. So highly encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and book a next show. Something that I got on Instagram was about my like health and workout routine. Because yes, yes, I am a fit person. I have had my own journey with exercise, I guess. I don't think that I've ever completely like stopped exercising, because I believe that walking is one of the best forms of exercise. And there was a period in my life, like that's the only exercise type that I was doing. But it helped, I was out of my house. So it was helping me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, because I was outside connecting with nature and just connecting with a higher being. I know that's all around us, but something about being in nature really, really just improved who I was as a human. So but anyways, all that to say, I have started to strength train. I do yoga. I don't necessarily have like a set schedule or routine. I believe, and this is in health books too, but I believe your nutrition is 80% and your exercise is actually only 20%. It's 100% mindset. Listen up, ladies. It's 100% mindset. It's 80% nutrition and 20% physical activity. That, like, keep that in mind, because we can do all like the meditation, the prayer, the spiritual practices, breath work, even. That's the mindset. Studying your mind, investing in mindset courses like Goddess Magic. Like that is a mindset course. Of course, it has a little bit of business strategy at the end and a lot of self-love stuff too. But at the end of the day, it is to literally transform your relationship with success, love, and money. And when you can start making those shifts, literally your whole life starts to change. So, anyways, 100% mindset, study yourself, study subconscious programming, all of that. And then your food. I indulge sometimes in foods that I don't eat on a regular basis. I know I have a gluten sensitivity. I know I have a dairy sensitivity. Sometimes there are particular foods that can bother me. And like even like oatmeal, I think I was sensitive to like a year and a half ago. So, and I just have to be a little particular, but I have figured out for the most part what works for me. And I believe that that's the best thing that you can do for your body is, there's so many people that'll like go on various diets, and those diets may not work for you. You may feel really bloated after eating, a carnivore diet, or you may feel really bloated after juicing for 5 days. Like some of those are the symptoms of it before you kind of get over the hump, but you just have to figure out what works best for you. And for me, that is eating a very well balanced diet. I met with a client the other day, and he was changing his lifestyle basically. And he was like, I use diet as a noun, not a verb. And I was like, absolutely. And I was clapping for him because I was like, yes, that's exactly how we should think of it. It is a diet. Like this is a diet for me. It is a noun. It is not, I'm not dieting. I'm not cutting calories, or anything like that. And I know that some people like, of course, cutting calories is ideal, but fixing what you're already consuming is the most important thing. So before you start to quote unquote diet, you need to look at what you're eating already and make like fine tune that. So if you wake up and you have coffee, you don't eat breakfast, you have a salad for lunch and like maybe a salad for dinner too. You haven't eaten, unless you were putting like ample amount of like cheese and croutons and ranch dressing and things and like fried chicken on it or something like that. Like, yes, that'll help build the caloric intake, the calorie count. But at the end of the day, if it's not a whole lot of like fatty food, then you're not eating enough calories throughout the day. So your body is actually it's slowing your metabolism because you're like basically saying, well, this is all my body needs, but your body actually needs a lot more food than that. So your metabolism slows down and you have to eat enough food to fuel not only your metabolism, but all of your bones, your joints, your organs, for your organs to work properly and function properly. And as a cohesive system, you got to fuel it. And what are you going to fuel it with? You got to fuel it with food, nutrient dense foods. So I eat probably like a 90, maybe even like 95-5 diet. Like they always say, like do 80-20, like 80% healthy and then 20% kind of what you want, because of the fact that I am very aware of foods that have impacted my body. And there can be like a whole spiritual conversation on that too about, well, it's actually associated to a story. And then, the gluten, maybe because I was like eating something when someone got really mad at me about something. And so my body internalized that gluten and that like emotion are connected. I don't know. Again, I don't know that stuff. I've just heard of it and it kind of makes sense to me. And that concept may even be totally foreign to you. But it's something energetically within the body happens. But all that to say, I just know that there are certain foods that irritate me in one way or the other. It could make my hands a little like red or pinkish around the knuckles. That's inflammation. Getting bloated, obviously having digestive discomfort, being constipated, having diarrhea. Like there's so many different things, like symptoms that you can just bring awareness to. Like, hey, oh, after I eat this type of food, this is what happens to my body. Hopefully nothing happens and you are totally fine and the foods are great. But because of that, that's why I eat so diligent or disciplined, I guess. But yes, I went to a friend's house last night and I did consume some gluten and dairy. Um, had some brownies that were definitely not gluten free, and they were so good. So yeah, I was a little like just inflamed today. But anyways, I wanted to why I'm bringing that up because of Atlanta Swim Week again, because so many people had reached out saying like, "What do you do? Your body looks so good," yada yada. I have created a lifestyle for myself. So like when I knew that Atlanta Swim Week was coming up, yes, I was a little bit more disciplined in the sense of that 5%. Um, I was trying to stay away. So grains, a lot of grains can make me bloated. So I haven't eaten grains. I think in like 3 weeks, maybe I haven't had any grains. It like my body just feels better just eating like sweet potatoes or potatoes as the carbs. Granted, all foods, like the foods, all vegetables have carbs. So carbs are not bad for us. Carbs are great for us. But grains in particular, too much can just make me feel a little bloated and inflamed. So I obviously going into Atlanta Swim Week, I didn't really want to feel more inflamed, bloated, thicker than I do sometimes. So I decided to like cut that out. But I don't eat it on a regular basis anyways. So I was just being more disciplined with certain foods that I was eating. I pretty much was eating my diet, like my lifestyle. And when you make a lifestyle change, then you don't have to like, I hate it when I don't hate it, it's to each their own, but like when people are like, oh, I'm gonna like shred before the wedding, I'm shredding before the wedding. And I'm like, okay, but then if you don't keep that up, that lifestyle, you're just gonna gain it all back. Or whatever. Maybe not. Maybe not. But for the most part, what I have seen is that that happens. So it's just about making lifestyle changes. So don't just do it for an event. See how good, or maybe that is the catalyst, and you start to diet and work out, create a workout routine for yourself. But I hope that when you do that, at least if you're sticking to it for 21 days, because it takes 21 days to like start a new habit, maybe after 21 days, you're like, wow, I feel actually really good. I want to continue with this. And so you do. Some people say it's not sustainable to eat so rigid and whatnot. And I agree. That's why I had brownies last night. Like, I'm not going to be 100%. But it did help me in the sense that I just had to make a couple of tweaks instead of being like, Okay, I had to literally change my diet for like the first, like the 4 weeks out from my bikini fashion show. And I had to start working out like crazy before the fashion show. Like, no, if you just make this your lifestyle, when events like this come up, you're prepared, you're ready, and you may just have to make a couple of tweaks. And also, who the fuck cares? Excuse my language, but who cares and just love your body the way that it is, right? Like I said, there were so many different body figures, body types, body styles, height differences at this event. And like people associate like runway, they're like, oh, like this tall, like 6 foot fashion model, Victoria's Secret. And we're like, no, there was a handful of women that were my size, 5 foot, 5'1", 5'2", that were walking that runway and everyone crushed it. So wanted to presence that, just something to encourage you about. Um, Many people ask me kind of like how I guide, how I eat. Like, how do I know? Because I don't count calories, I don't count macros. I am very aware of like how many servings per se, or a baseline of how many servings of each, like fruits, vegetables, protein, carbs, like the starchier carbs, healthy fats. I'm hyper aware of like how many servings of that I need a day in order to hit like a desired uh, caloric intake. So I learned that from going through a Beachbody program 2015, so nearly 10 years ago. And the Beachbody programs, people associate just like the exercise, but the exercise again is like that 20%. It's really more the nutrition. So following the nutrition guides, you can easily like type in Beachbody containers if you don't want to get the Beachbody program. Um, but you could get the Beachbody container system via Amazon, I think. Like you can probably just type in like Beachbody nutrition containers, and I think they pop up in that space. From there, as far as the nutrition guide, I think you can look it up on Pinterest too. Then, like you could just Google the 21-day fixed nutrition guide from Beachbody, and it is online. So there's access to these resources. Of course, I am a big proponent of maybe working with a dietitian or nutritionist, someone who is also going to maybe be taking your blood, and be talking to you on a regular basis about what you are like, you know, because if your body's not absorbing nutrients properly, then maybe it's not, it would be, it needs to be complemented with certain supplements to help you achieve the desired result that you're actually looking for in a better way. Because sometimes, like, I think, like for me, my body didn't produce enough hydrochloric acid, which hydrochloric acid helps to break down animal protein. And so I had to complement eating that with HCl. So just an FYI, I would encourage that. But to start, also you could use those nutrition containers and the Beachbody nutrition guide. And it's super helpful. It gives you like a way to calculate. And my recommendation, again, it's really understanding where you're at, like taking maybe just a food log in a sense of like, okay, I've eaten in the last couple of days, I've eaten X, Y, and Z. And then you can be like, yeah, that doesn't look like it's enough food anyways. Well, then do your calculations. If you're trying to lose X amount of weight, then figure that out as far like, and it'll tell you in that calculation what your like baseline is, as well as cutting calories if you are looking to lose some weight. And or if you're just trying to maintain weight, and maybe just like if you're trying to maintain weight, but you just want to like tone up and things like that, you could also do that with just your food. I mean, literally just making tweaks in what you're eating, because let's put it this way, I may eat the same amount of calories in one day sometimes, but if I have too many carbs, but although I literally have eaten about the same amount of calories, because that affects my body differently, I could be more bloated, more puffy, more inflamed that day, although I'm getting the same amount of calories in. But I just ate more carbs that day. I don't know. You have to figure out what works best for your body. But at the end of the day, it's really understanding that when you start making these changes, it's not to diet. It's not dieting. It is to create a lifestyle change so that you can feel better. And when you are aware of how much better you feel when you start moving your body on a regular basis, when you start eating more nutrient dense foods. You will not want to go back to eating how you did before. And there's just really no way that you can, because you're so aware of how you feel and that you feel good, that when you eat, not the same way, your body is like, oh, what's this foreign thing? So create the lifestyle change. Don't do it to diet for an event, is what I am suggesting. But also to add my workouts, like I said, I go for walks. I would like to go for more walks. I would like to go for walks every single day. I used to in the last year, probably maybe just a couple times a week, but I know that that's just my own time management and boundaries. I really need to honor those better. But walking would be great. But yoga a couple times a week, and strength training a couple times a week. What I ideally would like to do is strength training 3 times a week. So maybe like a leg day, an upper body, lower body, upper body, and then maybe like a total body, and then complement the other days with yoga, and or just maybe one day is total rest day, or maybe I just go and lay outside, put my feet in the grass or something. I don't do enough of that. I know that for sure, but yeah, it's just everything works together. So your nutrition, your health, your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, your mindset, all of that works together harmoniously when we start making the improvements to our lifestyle. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to share with y'all today. My brain is a little bit mush from just going and going and going. I really feel like I could sleep in probably and have like an all day sleep party for myself. But yeah, I gotta hop on a plane in a little while. So we're not doing that. But I just wanted to do a little recap on Atlanta Swim Week and how I eat, what I eat. I guess I didn't really say that, but well, I did. Like fruits, vegetables, animal protein, healthy fats, plant-based healthy fats. That's what I eat. I sometimes I'll look up different recipes. Sometimes I just like kind of throw things together. One recipe per se, I guess, that I've been doing is maybe like chicken thighs or like ground turkey beef, and sauteing that. But then I have a spiralizer, and so I will take a zucchini and spiralize and make zoodles. Throw the meat in one pan, and I cook that while I'm cooking the zucchini. And then I've gotten this like mushroom soup from Trader Joe's, and it's really tasty. Anyways, I've been using that as like a sauce for, because what I'm thinking is like the chicken or the ground turkey on top of the zoodles, that's kind of like a alternative pasta dish. And then I'm taking the mushroom soup and pouring that on top and like mixing it all in and sauteing it. It just provides really good flavor for the zucchini and the protein. But I don't need like marinara sauce, which the tomatoes can bother my stomach sometimes. I don't need this like dairy, all Alfredo, anything that's like that. Like, so it's a plant-based meal with animal protein, I guess you could say. But it's really good. So I get it from Trader Joe's, the mushroom soup. It's literally, it's like 3 ingredients. That's it. And then I might throw some like Himalayan salt and pepper on it and call it a day. And that's really good. So you can make it for your kids. You can make it for yourself, your partner. It's really tasty. So there's an idea. But yeah, I'll probably be making some videos about what I eat in a day and that kind of thing to maybe encourage you and inspire you to, this makes you feel a lot better. And when you're feeling better, you show up better in your relationships. You show up better for your career or business. Like today, I don't feel that great because again, I had a lot of brownies. I had two drinks last night too. So I'm a little like just tired. And I know that I am tired and I can't fully show up. That's why I didn't even put really a lot of makeup on or barely any makeup, because I was like, I just need to show up and record this podcast episode for my people and just inspire you guys to make little improvements in your life. Maybe you just add 1 to 2 days of exercising. Maybe you don't have to do like 5 days. That sounds aggressive. That sounds overwhelming. Pick a day or two and start there. Start small. Do a 15-minute workout. Do a 30-minute workout. It doesn't have to be this long like HIIT class. I actually don't recommend HIIT classes for anyone. I mean, maybe when you're younger, but like guys, we're almost 40, or I am. I know a lot of you listeners are in your mid 30s or 40s. Anyways, some are also in your 20s. And I love that I have listeners in in their 20s listening to this podcast, because I hope that the things that I say, the things that I share is what helps you make lifestyle changes then versus when you're 40 years old, and you can start living a healthier life altogether and start taking, positive risks and make positive investments into yourself to create a different life for you. Yeah, I just hope that. I feel like I was going somewhere with that. But anyways, I was a little tired. But yeah, I just really encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, make little improvements to your nutrition. One thing you could do, swap out. I do highly recommend that you eliminate or reduce the amount of gluten that you are consuming. It is significantly processed. Breads are processed, crackers, some types of chips, cookies, pasta, like all the things. There's a lot of gluten out there, and it's just processed a certain way. That's why a lot of people have many people have issues, whether it is the actual allergy or sensitivities, intolerances, that kind of thing to gluten. And I guess like the wheat germ, it gets processed a certain way. And I feel like that's why we have so many issues. Like it's not great for anybody. So highly recommend that you reduce it. There are so many different options out there. Yeah, you may have to eat a little bit. Well, I say when you're eating nutrient dense foods, you actually get fuller faster. So it's something else to keep in mind. And you just feel better. You just feel better. So it's all about feeling better. It's all about having the awareness of how you feel, so that when you aren't in that situation, that could be anything. Like if you're in a relationship and it feels really good, and then let's say something starts to go crazy and it doesn't feel good anymore. You're hyper aware of when it did feel good. Well, we want more of that, right? So, or if you're in a career, or if you have a business and you're like, God, this strategy works really, really well. I really like this. This feels really good. But then you start doing something else, or you stop doing that strategy, things start to feel weird or off. So it's all about having the awareness of how you're feeling. You want to feel good. So like keep leaning into things that feel really good, and keep leaning into things that you didn't even know would feel good until you walk on a runway stage. And then you're like, oh my God, I am in my power. This feels so good. I feel so confident. I want to do more. God, send me more of this. So I hope that helped you out today. If you have questions about anything, please reach out to me on Instagram. Would love to hear from you. If you love this episode, please share it with a friend. And then obviously rate and review, download. I would love the reviews and downloads. So yeah, and if you're looking to start working on the mindset, check out the Goddess Magic course. It is available in the link in my show notes or a link in my bio on social media. And I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Get out there and be amazing. Chase life. Love you guys. Bye.